The day I was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army was supposed to be the proudest moment of my life. I can still feel the crisp October air on my skin, the weight of my dress blues, the way my chest swelled when the general pinned those gold bars on my shoulders. My dad stood to my left, eyes shining with tears he refused to let fall. My little brother was grinning so wide I thought his face would crack. And there, 3 rows back, was Diane, my stepmom, clapping politely, smiling that tight little smile she always wore when she wanted the world to think everything was perfect. I was 24, fresh out of West Point, and I had fought for every single second of that day. 4 years of 4 a.m. wake-ups, broken ankles, screaming drill sergeants. Nights I cried into my pillow because I missed my real mom so much it hurt. But I made it. I was an officer now. The first woman in my family to ever wear the uniform. And for 1 beautiful hour, the past didn't matter. The loneliness didn't matter. Nothing mattered except the oath I had just taken and the people who loved me cheering in the stands. The ceremony was almost over. The national anthem faded. The crowd started to stand. I turned to hug my dad, and that's when I saw it. Diane's hand disappeared into her oversized purse. Her face changed. The fake smile vanished. Her eyes locked on me, like I was a target on a range. My heart stuttered. Something was wrong. Terribly wrong. She pulled it out so fast I almost didn't believe my eyes. A small, black pistol. Right there on post, in front of hundreds of soldiers, families, and a 2-star general. The scream caught in my throat. Time slowed. I heard my dad whisper, "Diane, no!" And then the world exploded into chaos. I don't remember hitting the ground, only the burning line of fire across my left shoulder. The bullet grazed me, just a graze, but the shock of it knocked me off my feet. Blood soaked through my dress blues in seconds. People were screaming, running, diving for cover. My little brother's face went white. My dad lunged toward Diane, but she was already waving the gun, shouting something I couldn't understand over the ringing in my ears. Security tackled her almost instantly. The pistol skittered across the stage. I lay there bleeding, staring up at the sky, trying to make sense of what just happened. Why? Why would the woman who'd been in my life for 12 years try to take everything from me on the one day I finally felt whole? The next weeks were a blur of hospital beds, investigators, and questions I couldn't answer. Diane claimed temporary insanity. She said she'd been overwhelmed, that I had provoked her by being too proud, too successful, too much of everything she never was. My dad sat beside my bed every day, looking 10 years older, whispering that he never saw it coming. But I did. Deep down, I did. Diane had hated me from the moment she married my father. My real mom died when I was 12, and Diane swooped in like a vulture 6 months later. She smiled for the photos, but behind closed doors, she mopped my grades, my dreams, my memories of mom. When I got accepted to West Point, she told me I was abandoning the family. When I graduated, she refused to come to the ceremony until the day before commissioning, when she suddenly insisted on being there for Dad. I thought I could rise above it. I thought if I just stayed strong, stayed kind, her poison wouldn't touch me. I was wrong. That bullet was 12 years of resentment finally finding its voice. Lying in that hospital bed, something inside me broke, and then hardened into steel. I was done being the good girl who pretended everything was fine. Diane wanted to destroy me in front of the entire army? Fine. I would make sure the entire world saw exactly who she was. The court-martial board didn't waste time.
Attempted murder of an officer on a military installation in front of a general officer, Diane's temporary insanity defense collapsed the moment they read her diary. Pages and pages of venom about how I had stolen my father's love, how I didn't deserve to wear the uniform, how she wished I had died with my mother. She cried in court, begged my dad for forgiveness. He didn't even look at her. When the verdict came, 25 years in federal prison without parole, Diane collapsed, sobbing that it wasn't fair. I stood in my dress uniform, the scar on my shoulder still pink and angry, and I felt nothing. No pity, no triumph. Just quiet, cold peace. The best part? The general who pinned my bars that day, Major General Harrison, personally requested to speak at her sentencing. He looked Diane in the eye and said, "Ma'am, you tried to break one of my officers on the very day she earned her commission. Instead, you showed the world exactly how unbreakable she is." He turned to me, saluted, and said, "Lieutenant, you are the finest example of resilience I have ever witnessed. America is lucky to have you." I cried then. Not from pain, but from the realization that the people who truly matter saw me, really saw me, and they chose me. Diane lost everything. Her freedom. My father filed for divorce the same week. My little brother refuses to say her name. And me? I'm deployed now, leading soldiers who look up to me, carrying that scar like a badge of survival. Some people think revenge has to be loud. Mine was quiet. It was the truth finally spoken out loud. It was watching a woman who spent years trying to dim my light finally swallowed by her own darkness. So if you're listening and someone is trying to tear you down, if they smile to your face while sharpening the knife behind your back, remember this. The moment they strike is the moment they lose. Because people like us, we don't break. We rise. And when we do, the whole world sees exactly who the real monster was all along. I'm Lieutenant Sarah Reynolds, United States Army, and this is my story.